Checking. Okay. Looks like everything's working, I guess. I'm a little early, but I guess I can go on and start. Yeah, that's right. I left off in this room. I still don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Somehow I figured it out this time. I don't feel like I did anything fundamentally different, but it worked this time. Fine. That's fine, I guess. Is this? Oh yeah, there's a limit. Right. So. This does not seem possible. Like, the fuse is not any longer than the path that I have to take. There's not really any way for me to take one step east every single step and have a quick push the other keg at the same time. Like, if nothing else, it's absolutely necessary to spend a couple of turns turning around and that's way too little time. Like, no matter what, I have to spend time going north and south, only north and south. There is absolutely no way to spend every single turn going forward. That just is impossible. I don't think that would help. That doesn't really make sense. Like, even if I was just trying to push one powder keg, I need to spend multiple turns going purely north and purely south, and like also going backwards to be able to keep pushing it. Never mind trying to do that with both of them, with both Reaper and the Mimic at the same time. Seems to just be a basic boardroom. It should be a little more sensible. straightforward. Just a standard horde room, but you have a pickaxe. And here is the level exit room. Okay. So I guess we'll go that way later. What's the deal here? Don't let anything press that. Or that. I guess the goal is just to place the rock golem bodies in locations that make it I don't think I can push more than one of these here. That isn't nearly enough to make the balls I'm being asked for, though. Yeah, this is objectively not enough. This is way too wide of a wall that I'm being asked for these to make that wall. Even making gaps and expecting just tar babies to get in the way, this still is nowhere near enough. Oh well. I'd say I'd need at least, like, I need at least 6 more for this to even be possible. Oh, and that's gonna be annoying too. And of course there's no checkpoint right at the bunker country. Oh well. I didn't forget. I actually can't. My subscription has lapsed and I didn't get an email or anything to let me know. I'd appreciate it if you would do that. So yeah, I don't have access to the chat right now. So I don't want one to be right in the middle. That would be bad. That's my find. Yeah, this is still probably like 6 less golems than I need. And there's no way to bring one of them up there. That won't work either. Maybe I can just bring 5 rooms with me. That's probably what I'm supposed to do. Although I don't think there's any way to bring these two. Hello. Yeah, okay, I have to do something like this. That makes a little bit more sense. Very careful about everything as these come out. Okay, there. Now I have that 6 more that I thought I wanted. And I can also use them to make these a little bit more manageable, probably. So the room that I was struggling on at the end of last time, that being this one, I just sort of stumbled around and accidentally did it right this time. I don't feel like I was doing anything too drastically different from what I was trying before, but it worked this time. I don't know. It's a very, very specific room. It wants you to do something extremely particular. I can get away with a gap that big on the south side. On the north side, I think I'll just fill every other. Because my previous attempt to try to make a 2-tile gap didn't work. Yeah, I think this should be doable. If I do this should work probably. I just have to make sure to actually kill things that come to me, since otherwise I'd be, I don't know, I could probably survive, but I'd be semi-stuck at least. I could not figure out the follow-up to that room, which is basically asking me to push 2 powder kegs alongside a mimic while making an extra move every single turn almost. It doesn't really seem possible to keep pushing a keg without at least some of my moves being north, south, or backwards. North, south, or west. And that's even if I was just moving 1 keg, let alone 2. This isn't too bad. I guess I'll go check out this way. I did the Horde room, so I found where the level exit is. What could this room be? Seems to be a lot of stuff. I'm supposed to take a pickaxe, and then I'm going in here. Okay. This does that. That reopens the doors. I'm a little suspicious of this. Like, if all I have to do is kill these roaches, that should be trivial here. Not very hard at all. But there's definitely something going on with this room. This construction looks beautiful. I need to understand what that is first. You know, what the point. So, if hypothetically you have one guy, let's see if I can get one guy from here. Okay, so if I have one guy, such as this roach, carry him in here. I need to push him. I feel like it looks like I should be able to push a roach or something into this corridor so that it presses this button. But that, at the same time, I'm not sure the room's construction really suggests that. It's just that if that's not what I'm supposed to do, I don't know how else to push that button. So that doesn't work. But if I did this, yeah. So my understanding of this section is that I'm supposed to bring a bunch of things here and have them block the Wraithwing. Fine. Except that even if I did that, how would I kill the rest of what's here after killing the Wraithwing? I guess I'd have access to doing this. Okay. So we need 7 guys, I think. Since me being all the way to the west would slide them all. Yeah, would have them slide eastward if there was any room. So how many are there? Potentially there are 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I could theoretically afford to throw away like 4 of them. I think probably starting with this room, there's almost certainly no way to kill to keep both of these roaches alive, while also pressing that one. Since I only have access to this room's resources at this point, I'm not likely to be able to do better than this. For later parts of the room, I might be able to do things like use the lever to block other things before I put it into the slot on the side. But for this first part, it doesn't seem realistic to do anything about it. Alright, so my hypothesis is that having the lever around will help me in some of the other rooms. Chambers, whatever. Some of the other parts, in addition to it presumably letting me save 1 or 2 of these roaches. Yeah, I kind of... What order do I want this to go? I don't know if it's possible to save both of these roaches. Feels kind of unrealistic. One of them, sure. I don't think I can keep both of them. Definitely keep one of them. I don't know that I can keep both of them. The problem is that's 2 of the 4 that I can get rid of. And I don't know if blood babies will be any easier to keep around. Even with the one's help. This seems fairly straightforward. Use the lever to make sure that I can save this roach. Actually, do I even need the lever to have done that? Maybe not. Regardless, that one's pretty easy once. Not too hard at least. both goblins and 2 enemies. I think it should be pretty easy to save the goblins by just having the one press this button, press the plate. Yeah, the goblins are basically easy. Oh yeah, also I can use the lava itself, it's worth noting. In that case, I guess I miscounted, because I actually have definitely enough. If I just keep one budget, that would be good enough. Just need to keep this guy pressing the plate too early. I wonder if actually killing the goblins at the end is going to be a problem. Yeah, I need to make sure that things are behind them. I need to put the goblins as far east as possible. Because otherwise, they're gonna just run away and I can't kill them from that arrow. Really annoying way to end after going through all the trouble of collecting them. But if there are roaches to their east, they're going to be stuck and they can't help but die. So I need to pull the roaches over and shove the goblin into this. Alright, so I should only need one of the mud babies there. I have the lava to help me collect it. This is good enough. Yeah, that should work out okay. And then my baby will move exactly the same way as a roach, so just do exactly the same thing that I did for the roaches. Get it into position. There we go. And the lava gets in last, let's say. Okay, everybody's in a row. Wraithwing gets stuck on the arrow. Goblin gets stuck in front of roaches. There we go. Thank you, lava. Very helpful. I really drastically overestimated how many things I needed to keep alive at first, I think. Not sure how, but I think I just didn't account for something that was available. Okay, what do we have here? We have some guards. Be a pain. And these sheep. So I think I just need one of the guards to kill the sheep. To kill one of the sheep. Everything else is just deal with the guards. This is not a very favorable way to start fighting guards. The position I start with is rather bad. Especially since I have to spin a turn and then go around to cut the run. One down. That's better at least. Down. Nice little guard glide there. Alright, you. I need more help. Unfortunately, I need to be facing east, and I need to push from west. I guess actually due south is also good enough. Thank you. That wasn't too hard. Once I got through with the surviving the guards part at least. What are we dealing with here? Just need to extract this powder keg into it. Yes. Which does not really seem to be ready. Alright, that's good enough. I was about to say I didn't have a good intuition for what the best way to do this efficiently is, but I guess that worked out anyway. Okay. I think this is all that's left, aside from not knowing whether there are any secret rooms around. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know. Every room except for this one and that one to the north of it are reasonably, doable for me. But I couldn't understand this one at all for a while. I still don't really know what I did right necessarily. I just kind of stumbled into the right thing after wandering around a bunch. I do exactly. I managed to make that and then that, and then I could do that. Which is kind of what I was trying to do the whole time last week, but anyway, that doesn't really feel like it prepares me at all for this room. Like, even if I was just trying to push a powder keg by myself without the help of a mimic at all, just one keg, I'm needing to spend turns just to not go... just to not run into the walls. And I'm already way behind the fuse just from doing that. Let alone doing this with myself and a mech at the same time, and somehow racing the fuse all the way over there, despite starting behind the fuse. Like, you absolutely have to spend some turns just going north-south, turning around your weapon, to be able to get there at all. I have a feeling that the north side is a little bit better, because I was able to get something resembling a result by doing that. But adding the mimic in, I have no idea how to do better. There's no way to cheat. Like, I can't have the mimic start pushing the keg before the fuse is lit, I don't think. Since the only positions I can even push the keg from in the first place are places that are on the pressure plate. It doesn't help that I have to be directly adjacent to the mimic, which immediately makes it a lot more difficult to even move in the first place. here, I can't move when I should move. So I have to spend extra turns to fix that, and that's just not enough. It's just not enough turns. This takes way too many turns just to turn around and be able to start going the right direction again. I guess this is the main problem. If I have a mimic sitting right next to me, which appears to be completely necessary, then I either can't go southeast or I can't go northeast. And I have to go both southeast and northeast to actually bring these kegs down. Either that or spend extra turns going all the way over so that I can do this, and then backing up so that I can push it forward. There just are nowhere near enough turns. I don't have the option of not being right next to the mimic either. Like, trying to do something like this doesn't work. Someone else's way, like blow up a keg no matter what, I'm trying to do this. I could maybe make it work if I had control over which way the mimic is facing. I say that while accidentally remembering I can do something about that. Whoops. Maybe this helps. Not really. I still can't go northeast if that's in my way. Or southeast in the equivalent situation. I guess this kind of helps. Well, up until there. Now let's try the opposite situation. Situation like this. Okay. So I was able to do that because there's clearance there to go north. I think there isn't any. Yeah, I can't start going northeast this way if I try to do that because this fire trap isn't working. Exactly where I need to go to start doing that. I guess that means I have to do it this way for this to work if this were going to work. I have no real confidence that it will. This is still taking too many turns to turn around and north-south. There's still no way that I'm getting all the way up there in time. Like, this fuse is just way, way too short. matter what, I have to spend turns turning around and moving north and southward just to get this remotely into the right area. There's some other way I can place. I think this is no different. This is identical. I would like to go north instead of south, but I just can't work. Clearance just doesn't exist. It's not to do it this way. The only remotely viable path going southward is too long. I know that the northern path can be shorter, but it's just impossible to start on the northern path because of this fire trap being directly in the way. Just exactly precisely in the way that I would need to go. Like if I could go south here and then do this would work just fine. The fire trap is in the way, and there's no way for it to not be. And also, apparently, this still wastes too much time somehow. I'd have to go all the way up here because I'd have 2 kegs to carry. So I guess that's also not going to work. That's impossible. It is not possible for every single turn to move the kegs east. Even if I was just moving one keg, that wouldn't be possible. Like, even if I don't have the Mimic and I'm just moving one keg, a couple of moves purely north or south are necessary. Like, if I try to do this with just V-throw, I was able to do it before with a couple of north-south moves and still blow up the keg. I don't remember exactly what I did, but it didn't. It involved thumb turns being north or south. I don't see how the Mimic's supposed to help. The Mimic just gives me more damage, not less. The Mimic creates more requirements for me to move north or south, as opposed to just going east. Like, that doesn't seem like something that makes it any more efficient, it just makes it worse. I was able to make this explode going one way. I don't remember exactly what I did. I swear it was by going north. Does that make the views very faster? I don't think so. We've gotten there anyway. Alright, well, I don't know what I did, but I know for a fact that I spent 1 or 2 turns turning or going north-south without the Mimic, and was able to place this keg by going north around onto the fuse that it exploded. I know that I got one keg to explode with it. I think it was by going north. But I don't see any conceivable way for the Mimic to make this problem easier instead of harder. The only thing that the Mimic and extra keg do are require me to spend more time turning around so that things don't get in my way. Can't really envision anywhere in outside the box that would be helpful for the mimic to be. I'm not saying that there isn't one, I'm just saying I don't think I understand what kind of location would even be useful. Problem is, I'm constantly moving east, so the mimic would have to simultaneously be somewhere where it's useful for me to try to hand something off to it, while also it doesn't move while I'm going towards it. Not really any places like that. Like, there's no hook shape that I could just store the mimic inside of, as far as I can tell. Like, not only am I going north, but if the mimic is in the middle of the up and down, then I'm actually going exactly in the directions that the mimic is going to have available. Like northeast if he's to the northeast, and southwest if he's to the, or southeast if he's to the southeast. Like, I know how to do this sort of thing with a time clone, or just a regular clone that I could just put in a place that's useful for the future, and then bring the keg to it, and then have it move into the right direction. Like, if I had a regular clone a couple of tiles north of here, then I could skip these 2 turns. Do this. And 2 turns would be enough. But there's no way to keep a mimic in that kind of location. Because it's constantly moving the same way I am. So even if I stowed it in that pocket right there, it has to move a couple of turns anyway just to start doing what I want it to do. And not only that, but I also can't actually keep it going southeast because I run into a wall. So there's no way for me to keep the mimic going in the direction it needs to go either. I'll just run into a wall if I try to do this. I should try this one. I don't feel like this can do any better. I can blow it up early, I guess. It doesn't really help, but I can. guess that... There's not really any way to upgrade this to work with 2 kegs, though, since it relies entirely on the fact that I can push this one forward a bit, and then go south with it. Well, I can push this one, or I can push that one. I don't think I can start with the mimic in a position like that. The one thing that still doesn't actually let me get 2 kegs, and for another... Yeah, this kind of thing happens. I knew that would work. If I had a stick, that might work. Got due to the time delay, I don't actually know when I did that. This has that problem. This seems incapable of getting both kegs, for one thing. Is that what I'm supposed to do? Okay. I mean, I can admit this looks neat. It's very unintuitive, but it looks neat when it works, I guess. I mean, it makes sense on analysis why that would happen from that configuration of things. Alright. That was not an easy room. I don't think I found a single secret room in this level. That might mean that there aren't any. It's just that this is one of those levels that has broken walls all over the place. That don't seem to be anything other than cosmetic. It is plausible that it doesn't have any secret rooms, but usually that doesn't mean that necessarily. That's right, this was the horde room, and the level exit room is over to the east of here. Well, there is this. This is blatantly a secret I mean, not blatantly, but this is conspicuously a secret wall as opposed to a regular broken wall here. Okay, so this is a remix of the concept from this room's ending, which is asking you to do something different. So I get a roach, I get 2 wubbas, which I think I can extract both of them without any trouble. My first instinct is to try putting the roach between the 2 wubbas. I don't really know, I don't have a specific justification for thinking that might work, but something feels right about doing that. Who moves first in this room? The Wraithwing moves first, of course. Come to think of it, I have to stab the roach at the end. That means it has to be the eastmost member of the party. Since otherwise I would have no way to actually kill it. And how could I think... This one is before that one. So if I put them in this order, what's the idea here? This weird loop here, which doesn't matter. I can't enter this loop without pressing this plate. Why is this loop here? This has to be here for some reason. Is there a... What could that possibly be? That keeps the first one in position, which doesn't really matter, but it does. If the wubbas moved before the Wraithwing, this would be helpful. That one's on the left. Let's wind up in this position. that one's on the right. What? And they will both move, and Wraithwing will just do that. If the roach is on the left, there's the area last. Yeah, now that I look at it, that's very suspicious that there's an alcove there you can store a roach in. So, if I were to organize these last to first, that do some kind of thing. That keeps the roach in position, but only briefly. Now this can't be it. If I swap the buttons, does that help somehow? That, but that doesn't really help. The Wraithwing just gets off onto the Force Arrows like the next turn after that. Oh. Or not. Guess this worked somehow? Something about the movement order made it all work. Alright, why is there this thing? Okay. This is here to let me kill the lovers so that I can get rid of a roach. That's why this is here. And it's this big loop to make sure that I can't use this to solve the main problem. And I noticed that there were secret walls here a while ago. Comment on it since I wasn't sure I'd solve the solve the room. Okay. More briars in the way. I think from here on I'll just take that pickaxe and keep it with me. Alright. Well, I found door number 4. I guess I'll go in. Since I have key number 4. Advanced pickaxes, I assume. Hollow Forest. In the years before Half had been old enough to come round to Bethro's house, to listen to stories of his delving exploits, Halfed used to come round to his house to listen to fairy tales. Bethro wasn't the greatest storyteller, but he understood well enough how to structure a tale to make it to Half's liking. The most important thing was consistency. Half was a kid who liked order, everything in its proper place. If, for example, he introduced a race of small people living in the mountains, they should have pickaxes and an obsession with mining. Well, if he talked about small people living in the forest, they should have bows and arrows and do nothing but sing and hunt all day. After all, even a boy as young as Half was then, knew that it made no sense to have a pickaxe in a forest setting. With no rocks to mine and no golem remains to push around, what else could it possibly be used for? Okay. This looks like something. I think I need to go south. I think I can't extract this, so I need to bring the skipper with me. I could put that skipper on the water, but I don't have to. This time I think I should. I have to be a little careful. Oh, okay, no, I shouldn't. Okay. So I don't think I can put the skipper on that water either. Or can I? There's nothing else I can do, though. Wait. Can I bring the nest? I only have to push the nest forward, right? Let's give this a shot, at least, before giving up on the idea. Let's do that. Right, the problem is that I don't have a way to push the nest north. Would it be helpful to have one skipper? I don't think so. I can have two of them. Do I need two of them or something? Maybe there's some way to deal with the issue I had over there if I have two of them. Alright, let's use this as a supply. Since I now know that I can get them out from there, put one there. I don't think I can put another there, so there. Alright. So the problem I had here is that I want it to... Yeah, okay. I think this is a problem solvable with two skippers, if I can get this one to go with me. To the best. There we go. So if I arrange two of them the right way, which is to say, if they have the right movement order, which these don't, let me fix that. Then they should be a consistent stack. Like that. Then I can keep the stack suspended this way, pull this one to this corner, kill the extra, and have... I guess I just need to go all the way over here to do this. So then, I just need this one to come with me the rest of the way out of the room. Maybe my placement of that platform isn't the best. Yeah, this part's not so hard, I think. Just get it on some way up. And then I can push it through here. I don't need this trapdoor. Why is this one here? I don't know. But... without dying. Probably having trouble with the easiest part of the room or something. Some really simple way to do this, I guess. There is, that's not it. That whole setup on the west side guarantees me that I am supposed to wind up with a skipper and not a nest. Because the only way all that works is if the thing I'm guiding can move itself. Never mind the fact that there's no way for the nest to even get out of the first area. There's this trapdoor here that doesn't seem to serve any purpose. What am I missing? Oh, don't put it in the corner at least. I don't really see a diagonal move that would let me prevent the sideways move that would let me count. It's really awkward space here. There's nothing else in the room that would allow this to die remotely. Am I really missing something obvious, or am I messed up before this point somehow? There's not really anything else in the room except for this at this point. I don't see how else I'm supposed to finish the room, besides killing a skipper while standing on this green door. I don't see a way to do that. That doesn't help. This just seems to be built so that there is no way to kill a skipper while standing on the green door. That can't be right. You have to be able to do that because there's no other way to clear the room. What even is there that I could conceivably be missing? Like, there's not really a ton of things that start out in this room. Like, I'm trying to understand why there's a trapdoor here. If if it's supposed to be some kind of hint as to how I'm supposed to actually be able to kill this skipper. But I don't see anything about it that could remotely be useful. It's like way over here, away from what I need to do something with. There's no restrictions on my movement here that would make that necessary. Make standing on the trapdoor necessary. Why is there a trapdoor here? There's no red door up there. What am I missing? What conceivable way is there to actually kill this skipper while standing on the green door? I mean, I've done all the hard work of actually solving the most of the room. I would rather not leave the room because this last part doesn't work. I hope people's messages aren't getting eaten by YouTube again, since I don't have an alternative. Yeah, just like some kind of hint about what I'm supposed to do in this last part. It doesn't seem possible that I've done something wrong before entering the exit room here. But because there's really very little else in the room. Like, I think everything up to this point I have to have had correct. But for some reason, like this one particular hostile wall here, the way the green door is set up, it's not really a nice way to kill this. Yeah, I'm missing something really dumb, aren't I don't know why this trapdoor is here still. Maybe it's just decoration? A red herring? Could be either of those. Oh. Yeah, there we go. I was missing something simple. I just needed to do this. I should know this kind of thing. I did make an entire level about beach skippers. Oh well. Moving on. Looks like we need to keep this guy alive. Okay. Should I be cutting this briar first? I can. Might help get rid of some of it. I don't think I want to be rid of all of it though. Eventually I have to get him back off of the water. I think. Well, yeah, no, I can't do that. Let me just make sure. I don't want to destroy too much of the briar, but I do need somewhere to put him at first. So maybe just destroy that much. Make sure to turn the right way before we do it. If if I do that, then he'll behave for a little bit. But I can't slide him across here because he'll get into the trap. So I have to do something else. At this point. Don't think that can work. Maybe I should try to destroy the bare minimum Hesper. The only thing I need is to be able to do that. At first. Excuse me. Now the problem is, how do I get onto one of the stores? Just destroying that. I don't think so. I don't see a way to get it safely back out of the water. If the briar's like this, and it's sitting here, and I'm to its east, northeast area there, that would work. I don't see a way to make that happen. One safe spot is just not placed right to make that possible. I don't want to destroy this tile of briar, because if I do that, then I don't have anything to hold in place. Maybe I'll force it to stay north, like while I'm to its south. Shove it there. Yeah, that's it. That's what I need to do. Okay. This isn't too bad. Did it. Next, over to the east. It's a lot of trapdoor. Briar. It's a lot of briar, and there are trapdoors. So... if I just cluelessly walk in and do this, the briar does that. Yep. It doesn't kill the brains on its own. That's the problem. Okay. So I guess what I want to do then is give this enormous heap of briar roots a lot of pits to be up against. A lot of pit surface. It it's kind of fighting against when trying to grow. I'd also like for it to use every tile of undropped trapdoor that I can make it use. Of the best way to achieve that. Something like this. This is a bit more promising. Didn't instantly fill the entire area. I mean, I do want to wait for it to fill everything up so that it's on all of that. So that it's on all of that. I don't feel like I can use the entire north area very well. Well, anyway, I doubt this is completely good enough, but maybe it is. So I think I want to do this as soon as it's done that. Oh, I didn't even notice. I really only need to fight these two prior. So I misunderstood something. I thought that enormous amount of briar that's up there would be like rolling at me the entire time. It's not quite how this one is. Okay, that kind of uses a lot. Actually, I know that I want to give it a lot of surface that is pit to be up against as it tries to grow. That's definitely worse. I don't know, I feel like this isn't bad, because every tile of briar that's touching this U shape is going to have a pit next to it. This is the kind of turn that I want. That's almost enough, I think. What if I do this instead? Does that give it more hit to fight against me? Seems like it's growing pretty slow. Yeah, that's enough. Alright. Glad I have reasonably good how to make briar grow slowly instinct. Intuition more than instinct, rather. Okay. It's a funny thing, if briar happens to grow so that it touches the room edge, then it looks like it spreads beyond the room, but it really doesn't. I mean, that makes sense when a room has got dryer as, like, walls that are pre-built, but it's different from... well, whatever. Huh. The description of the level said that there were no golem corpses to push around, but I guess that's not true. There are plenty of golem corpses to push around in this particular forest, if plenty is 3. What are we doing here, by the way? This, do that. This does that. So I need to hold all 3 of these plates. But then I have to do something else with this one because of this construction. I'm not really clear exactly what I can do with that. I'll just assume for the moment that I need a living golem for that. Try to figure something out from there. I don't see any conceivable way making this golem stay on that plate or on any other plate. Sit there. They're both really up against the wall. There has to... Okay. The only way this room makes any sense is if this last part requires a live golem. And then, so the first part has to be done with a live golem somehow. I don't understand what this is about. What do those do for us? Anyway, so if there's supposed to be a live golem, then a pile can only hold down one of these, or up to two of these plates. And a live golem has to hold down the third one. Realistically, though, that means that I'm really supposed to have a live golem move from one plate to another in such a way, like, because it's blocked by a pile and then gets manipulated over to the other one. And then stays on the other one, maybe? Or at least walks past it on its way to try to chase me. I think if I go around to the east at first, and if I have the golem start in the middle plate. But what I was noticing earlier is that both of these plates that aren't the middle one are way off on the edge of the room where it's rather difficult to keep the golem, like, on them with a pile's help even. Whereas this one looks plausible, although if I try to keep a golem on this plate, that won't actually work because of the order of things. So maybe I should try to keep one on the west plate. I guess the problem with this one is that just leaving the room requires me to go a particular direction relative to the plate, and that seems unrealistic to keep the golem in place while doing that. Let's see. So I want it to go... Maybe I want to start out going west instead of going east. Then it could start here and go west as I go west, although the shape of that corridor doesn't give me much confidence in this idea either. This is what I try. Like, yeah, he'll press the plate, but there's nothing to keep him on it. I guess I might need a live golem to press all 3 plates. Yeah, if this pile is in the right location, then he would stay on the plate, and then maybe I could guide him to the west after. This might work. We'll stay there. That's okay. You can go there. This is slightly more of a problem. Yeah, there's no way to make him hit this plate then. I can't actually make him hit this plate at all. Starting in the east is necessary, but I don't see any way to keep the golem on the east plate to start with. And if it's east first, then it would have to be north last. That can't possibly work. There is absolutely no way I'm bringing this golem all the way to the north when I'm in between these 2 plates. So that can't be right. This construction ensures that I can't, like, try to enter from one side and then exit from the other one. There's no way whatsoever to actually put the golem on that plate, though. try to review my logic. If I tried to go around through the east, then that would require this to be open at first, which either a pile or the golem could do. And then, coming around here, this would need to be open next. And then this would have to be open last. There is absolutely no way that a golem could start at one of these other two buttons and go to this one if what I'm doing is going around like this. If it started here, then when I'm past it, I couldn't, yeah. I would have to use up a pile to keep the golem here. Like, I would have to use up both piles. One to keep it here, and one to keep it there. And then there would be nothing to open this door while keeping the golem there. So going around to the east, from the east, definitely won't work. It can't be done this direction. Going this way, something has to start out with this open, and something has to open that. And then at the end, this needs to be open. So going around this way, it's at least possible for the golem to start here, go there, and go there. The problem is that this door is placed not where it should be. If this door was another tile to the south, then it would be possible to guide the golem to this plate, and then just walk south across the door. But there's no way to actually get the golem from here to over there. Because if it's here, then I would have to be directly east of it. Even if it was all the way down in this corner somehow, with me over here, then the whole process of going up and around would cause it to go all the way up. And then I would have to be farther south than I can get for it to press this plate. I also want to mention that I still don't know how I'm supposed to actually use a single golem to go through this section. Like, I can see how to use one golem to go north, but not how to use it to go back south. I guess if there's a pile directly north of the golem, then that's what these could be used for. But never mind, I answered my own question with that part, but I don't know why it needed to be quite as complicated as it is, just to require me to have one golem alive at the end. There's probably something I haven't thought of for such a thing. Yeah, I don't see any way for this to work in either direction. It's closer to working if I go west first, but it's not possible because the door is in the wrong place. At least what I would like to work isn't possible anyway. but this doesn't remotely help. Yeah, there's absolutely no way to keep the rolling on that plate going all the way around. If I had a way to go down the other one, that still would be possible. Because this is directly in line with where I have to go, there is no way to make the golem just start on this plate at all. At least no way that doesn't use up an extra pile that I don't have available for that. I could pull it onto the plate, but again, the door is in the way. Because the door is too far south for that to work. I was trying to think if there was anywhere that the golem could stand so that it stays in place until I go this way, and then approximately when I'm here, it starts moving southeast so that it lands on the door when I get here. I don't think that's possible. It would have to be on this diagonal line, but also not moving, but also be able to move after I go east of, like, here. So there's no way that could ever work. There's no spot that matches that description whatsoever. So that can't be it. Do I need to keep 2 golems alive? I don't see how that could possibly help, but I'm running out of ideas at this point. It's also rather annoying trying to keep to the middle line in the first place. I can do it, it's just annoying. I don't see it being useful, which is the main problem. Yeah, no, I can't even get enough control over the situation with 2 of them alive to even try. There's no way that's it. There has to be a way to fix this problem that I haven't thought of. Because this is the closest to working. There's way too much that's just directly in the way of doing anything else. I'm not seeing much of anything. anyways. I'm gonna try a different route. There's a bunch more rooms apparently off in this direction, so stick around. This room features seep and a rock giant. Presumably the seep needs to make it to this wall so that I can kill it to get past this business. So I guess the first thing I should try to do is get the seep kind of going the right way. Off toward this door. Alright, at this point I have to get that to do much of anything. This opens that door, which means I think that means I need to bring the seep across before I can do that. But there's not any way for me to get back out of here after pressing this orb. Something. I need this door to stay closed because the seep has to walk across it. And I need this door to be closed also, and I need to be north of it. Except the seep has to be guided around. There's no way to get far enough north to guide it around. I'm missing a platform. I don't see a platform. I can push it. There's that. I should remember the main element of the room. Doesn't seem to be going anywhere. It refuses to go west on being pushed north. Okay, I need to do something like that. Okay, that's what it was. I just needed to push it. Same kind of thing here, probably. If I remembered what I did before, it might help, but I don't. It may not work here anyway, but I can get it to there. There isn't enough. I can't go here without it going all the way onto the wall first. Awful lot of work to keep the seep alive, isn't it? Anytime that's the goal, it turns out to be a lot of work. before. I can't remember. There, okay. This is the kind of thing that I wanted. There. Okay. Great. I need to not let it die to this. Oh. Okay, great. Please come up, be happy, fun. Swirl, so I can do things with a rock that I missed. Okay. I just need to block things off here so that I just block things here with golem pods so that the sea can take the right path to me. I don't know exactly what are good places to block, but I'm gonna just try things and eventually one of them will work. So I'm pretty sure I don't want it to go there, down there, it'll get stuck. If it's going this way, it might get stuck. I don't want it to do that. Probably gonna do this, but it might do this. I don't know which one it's going to do. I guess this is the time to experiment and check what it's actually going to do. First, I have to put it in the right position. Okay, what will you actually do? Oh. Okay, I only needed 3 bodies then, not 4. So all I need to do is keep it from going there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Seep, you let me clear the way. Alright, and to the north. Oh. We have tar. And a requirement to press 2. Really? How can I ever press both of those? This is... Oh, no, I know what I need to do. This is about keeping the tar from growing by pushing an eye around, isn't it? So... I'm not sure how to start. it's not possible to like push the eye onto a corner like this without cutting some of the tar to achieve that. I could be wrong, but it seems to be the case. The only way that I'm getting it to the south from this position is if at some point I cut out from under it. Give myself room to push from. Like that. And I really am not sure about this part. I need to be able to push it back if I'm going to do that from here. I mean, I thought that this construction here would make it easier to go back. It actually makes it harder. Just trying to think about what like mitigation puzzle. Is the west one shorter to apply? It's easier to start with. To suggest that that one should be done last. I can't get all the way around this. Okay. I think I was right the first time. I want to go east first. I just need to do it better somehow. Something like this. I think I need to go around to the other side instead of trying to cut things here. Like make sure to cut it from here so that I can get back. How do I do this part of it? How do I actually get it onto a corner? Or more to the point, how do I get it onto a corner without putting the tar here? I don't see any way for this to be possible. Okay, new theory. I do start on the left side, but I did something a little bit wrong before. The problem that I ran into was a problem of like I needed to push it west and then push it east and south again, which would require me to go around the pillar of tar, which obviously I can't do if the pillar in question is too tall. But if I shorten the pillar a little, it would be possible. It's just that shortening the pillar will give me less time to reach the destination, which might be okay, since this corridor is not as long as the one on the other side. I just kind of want the bare minimum if possible. Also, I didn't need to push that back across. Now I can get it all the way here. I can do that. I don't know if I actually left myself enough time. Well, okay, first of all, I want to make sure that I push it while I'm fixing a useful direction. Yeah, that is not nearly enough. It could be that I'm mistaken about being allowed to cut this. I came very close to getting this into a good position before. Try again. This doesn't quite work. I was able to do something else, though. Like I carved out the shape of it. Okay, I just needed to improve this shape a little bit, and then I can push it all the way to the south of this pillar. I can do this, and then yeah, this is shorter because it has to come first, because I have to be able to go there and back again. The other one is longer because I really need all 30 turns to get across. So I really was right the very first time when I thought that I needed to do this one first. Okay, now... timing. Just need this to be back on that side. But from here, I should clearly be able to do what I did on the other side. But I remember exactly how it goes. That's basically it. Okay, now push it south. Then, if I'm going to destroy things behind me, I can get it down onto this corner. And then do the same thing here. The same thing here correctly. I probably need to do the west side, not the east side, because I need some space behind me to be able to push it from. Yeah, this actually does work. Okay, then do the same thing as last time. Make a push and run for the orb. And then, as I expected, then we can just kill it. This is a neat room. This is a fun room to kind of analyze and figure out what it is it wants. It uses things in a pretty interesting way. I kind of like that there are actually two different hints that you're supposed to do the east side last. One of them is that the passage is shorter, and the other one is that this diagonal diamond thing is impossible to backtrack through. So there are two different reasons why you need to do that one last, if you can make sense of what they are. Okay, what is this? So we have this here, which doesn't do anything. And a bunch of plates. Yeah, all of these plates close the way behind you. If I kill this, then it does that. Okay. So my goal is just to shove brains into positions that keep the roach from pressing any plates. Yes. The plate placement is completely symmetric north-south, which I find suspicious. Alright, so first get a default read, get a control test. If I just do nothing, the roach will hit that one and that one. Okay. If I put a brain in the way of hitting that one, then the roach will wander northward and hit that one. If I put two brains so that it can't get there by going north, just go farther. No, it'll go around to the south. Yeah, and then a third brain can make it come back down. Come back up. So I want this brain to be here. So this is strange. The only reason I can envision for why the room would be built this way would be to illustrate / require one to understand or notice some kind of quirk about brain behavior that is not symmetric north-south. Because otherwise, there's no reason why this would have two parts that are exactly symmetric copies of each other, where you have exactly the same resources to do exactly the same task with. So my hypothesis is that, for some reason, the exact solution that I just did isn't going to work here. I don't know why that would not work, but my guess is that it won't work. I'll have to do something a little bit different. I'm just going to go ahead and gather the brains first, but... Alright, so that's good enough. So if I place two brains in positions like I did last time, the roach goes around the north. Is it symmetric? Maybe I missed something. Yeah, no, it's not quite symmetric, actually. Okay, that's the trick. Okay, I have a guess as to what the problem is. I bet I don't need this brain for it to go north. Be a little bit careful how I retrieve it. Yeah, okay. So this is that... Is this that northeast-southwest thing? Where... like... a creature that wants to turn around... like that's blocked by something might prefer north over south, east over west or something. Honestly, I just noticed that, I didn't even need the brains to be there. I don't know why I read this as completely symmetric, because it clearly isn't. Anyway, so yeah, the roach wants to go north before it wants to go south, meaning that I don't need two to wall that off. What I do need is a way to keep it from hitting this button now. So, since brains are not brain visible, it has to be something that just actually prevents the roach from moving there. I guess if I just force it to go south a little bit early, it might fix it, but probably not. no. If I forced it to go all the way south, that wouldn't work, because then it would hit this one. It would hit this plate if I forced it to go south instead. Like if I were to do this, this wouldn't work. Because it'll just hit that plate instead. So that's good. If do I perhaps want to force it to go south? If I do that, then it will go north around this one, I think. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So, that's neat. This room isn't really about pickaxes as much. I mean, not necessarily that anything else at this level is either, but this is about the behavior of brain roaches very much so. I think it looks a little bit odd, but I really appreciate using the black doors and the red doors as one-time doors because it really makes them it makes the failure plates stand out from everything else. They're like the only ones that are one-time plates, expressive plates. Alright. So I guess that's all except this golem room I can't figure out. I haven't had any new ideas for this. I may have to ask for a hint at this point. So let's review. I don't think it's useful to keep more than one golem alive. I do know that it's necessary to keep at least one golem alive. I have to press all 3 plates as I go, or I have to have all 3 plates pressed in such a way that I can traverse the entire area around to hit all the trapdoors. So either the golem has to hit all 3 plates, or he has to hit 2 plates while one of the other piles is busy holding down the other plate. It isn't realistic, seemingly, for the golem to stay on one plate and then stay on another plate without using the piles to do that. I don't think it's possible to start out going east because there is no way to permanently keep the golem here without using, like, at least 2 of the piles. And if I kept the pile here, then... Okay. If the golem starts here, the golem won't start here, because there's no way for him to stay here while I start going through the door. That means that a pile would have to be here. And the other pile would have to be spent keeping the golem somewhere. If I keep the golem here so that I can go through here, then there's no way for the golem to go up here. So I don't think going east is at all possible. If I try to go west, that seems more possible, closer to being possible. The only obstruction to going west is the fact that that door is too far north for me to pull the golem onto its respective plate from the place where the golem is if I've done the rest of the room. There's also this construction here, which seems specifically designed to make absolutely sure that if the golem were here, he wouldn't stay here. Like, if I did have the golem stuck here somehow, and I started to go up around this way, then trying to drop this trapdoor would lead to the golem being in this corner, and it's not possible to bring him from this corner to this plate. Never mind him not being able to stay here either, or be put back there. So... there has to be some way to make a golem that starts in the middle plate go to the east plate after going to the west plate. I don't see any other way that this room could be possible besides doing it like that. am I missing? First of all, am I right that it's not possible to go around to the east? I guess would be a useful thing to know. Going around from the east side, like starting on the east side, doesn't seem like it can work. The requirements just don't seem to be possible to fulfill. But if that is right, I don't really see what I can change about this setup. In theory, the golem can be made to press the west plate without the help of any other piles, except that he does it too fast. Is the problem. Because if I'm in this position, the golem runs off to press the plate so soon that I can't get to the door in time. Even if I somehow use 2 piles to keep the golem in place there longer, and this isn't going to work, but even if that did work, it wouldn't matter because it would just leave me back in the same situation I was in before, with no actual way to get him to go here. You know, if the golem was all the way in the corner here or something, not that can happen, but if the golem was right there, then the mere act of going up this way is going to cause him to go up toward this corner, so there's still no way to get him to this plate. This plate and the door being parallel to it is kind of a fundamental issue of the room. The golem either has to start, the golem has to start on the opposite side of this plate that I am on the door. So I would have to be south of the door with the golem north of the plate, which I don't think I can do. Or I would have to be north of the door with the golem south of the plate, which by the time that I've had him press this, he's parallel to the plate, not south of it. If I go up here after he presses this, then he's parallel to the plate, not south of it. If I do that, this is... Let's try to get out of the awkward situation first. Okay, if I do this... I was thinking that I could push him south of the plate by standing on the door, but there's a pile in the way, and there has to be one. There's no way for there to not be a pile in the way. Because that's the one thing that makes it possible to press this door. Or to open this door. But even if he were farther south, going through this tunnel would bring him all the way up here somewhere. And then it's just not possible to press the plate. Am I supposed to go around to the east somehow? Is that what you've got? Or what am I missing? I possibly go east? Let's see. The problem I had with going east, to begin with, I can't make the golem stay on this plate. Like, no matter what I do with the piles, the golem's not staying on this plate. But never mind that. I'm also definitely not getting this golem to go stand on this plate after I've gone around. Once I'm past this door, the golem is absolutely never going to come up here while I'm in this corner of the room. I can't, like, make the golem do what I want without using up at least one pile to have it do that. You would have to somehow start here and go over there. Maybe. I don't think that could work, though. There's nowhere I can see that I'd be able to put this thing that would make him stay on this plate long enough to be useful. Right, I tried this before, and this doesn't work. Like, in theory, maybe, if it was a little closer to where I need to start, I could push him away and then do this, but it's exactly like far enough away where I can't do that, and there's no way for it to just stay on this door, this plate, to hold the door open. It's not like I can use the pile that's over there to do anything useful. Not freeing him from that if I'm going this way. Ah, sorry. YouTube's being itself as usual. I'm not keeping him on the west plate without using one to do that too. I don't think. That's silly. Making Twitch censoring the word Fagundo feel very trivial by comparison. That simple. Something like that. Well, he's not staying there. can't be anywhere around the north pile for this to work at all. If it does that, then it can stay in one place, but this makes it impossible to get him off of it. This is expressly designed to make this not work. There's nowhere else I can store the golem if I have to keep piles on both of those plates. And this is a useless place to store it. And this corner, it won't stay there. If I could do this, then this would work, but I can't do this because this is expressly designed to make that impossible. To make that not work. I don't know what you mean. I can't go out to this navigation area. This is completely separated by tunnels. These walls and tunnels out there. And the other place you could be talking about is the corridor event field, which I have used for something already. It's a convenient place to put the door while I'm trying to push the piles around. Guess that might do something useful. Except I still have to get him out of that box at some point, like now-ish. And I'm just in the same position I was before. Doesn't seem particularly helpful. Like, the only place I can be to get him out of that corridor is to be here, at this exact tile. And if I'm here, then my only option for where to put him is up against this pile, which I've established isn't very useful. Guess I can do that. Is that the idea? Okay, great. I appreciate it. I don't know how long it would take me to try to find a way to put both of them down and have the golem stay. Probably a lot longer than that. Okay, so I think I just need to have things in this position, which I might need. Let's see before I decide. Oh no, I need something a little different. I need that to go south. This get out of the box again. I think I just need like this. The other one needs to be somewhere. You know, if I really thought about it hard and understood exactly what the last part requires, then it might have occurred to me that any solution which makes a pile unrecoverable actually can't work. can't be the right one. That would have helped eliminate some options, if I'd thought about that carefully enough. Because if you need both of them to do this last part, then having either of them against a wall wouldn't have worked for anything. I might be wrong about that, if we'll see. I'm overthinking this. Some more space between the announcement. Yeah, let's just push things all out as much as possible. Outside box. Let's do this. 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 There. Yeah, so the final part of the solution requires both piles to be accessible. That's kind of interesting, because that's rather similar to how this room had two different reasons why you needed to do this one first. Alright, that's it. That's advanced. I didn't exit the right way, though. Hollow Forest's exit is the room that I just got through solving. I just need to enter it differently. It's this one. Alright. It's the pickaxe shape. Cool. East stairs, return to south stairs, fork of infinity. I do want to return to because I actually need to go back and get credit for the main pickaxe level as well, whose blue door we might use to reach the secret level room. Okay. So we got the pickaxe icon in the big level. Big image level. And now we can do this too. Get a pickaxe. Make our way to the conquer token. That's another part of this chapter done. Cerebral testing facility seems likely to be advanced brain stuff. Anthropic Cauldron is going to be time clones. All exciting things. It is pretty much the end of my stream time. It feels very satisfying to end with like a couple levels done. Especially an advanced level. Anyway. So family and travel stuff is going on across possibly the rest of December. I don't know exactly when I'll stream again, but it will be pretty early in January at the latest. I think a good break might do some good. But for now, thank you for watching, and have a Merry Christmas as it comes up. Farewell for now. The room is dark now, and I can't see very much. The sun is most of the way through the sun.